What happens when Western powers like Germany pack their bags and leave Africa? Is this the beginning of a true African renaissance, or just a temporary shift in allegiances? The departure of German troops will surely affect Niger's security landscape. But can Turkey's military support fill the void left by Western forces? It seems like Africa is changing, and its first step is claiming sovereignty by partnering with nations that respect Africa. But what's the bigger picture? Let's find out. Niger's recent actions raise a crucial question. What compelled General Tiani and his government to sever ties with long-standing Western allies? The answer lies in a growing sense of nationalism and a collective desire for genuine autonomy. Historically, leaders like Bazoum exhibited a troubling pattern of compliance with Western directives, often at the expense of their own people's interests. This compliance has led to widespread dissatisfaction among the populace, who are fed up with the perception that their leaders prioritize foreign approval over national sovereignty. The military's rise to power has brought with it a significant change in priorities. General Tiani's administration has made it clear that they are unwilling to allow foreign powers to dictate their domestic and foreign policies. By ending the defense agreements with France and the United States, they are taking a stand against a legacy of exploitation and neo-colonialism. This decisive break from the West is more than just a political action. It's a powerful statement of intent from a leadership that recognizes the need for self-determination. Also, Niger's complex social landscape plays a critical role in this shift. The country grapples with high levels of poverty, unemployment, and food insecurity, compounded by frequent attacks from extremist groups. The previous government's inability to effectively address these issues, often because of Western interference and ineffective strategies, has led to widespread frustration. The population's desire for a leadership that prioritizes their needs over foreign interests is palpable. Moreover, the relationship with Turkey represents a shift in allegiance that offers new opportunities for development and military support. Unlike Western nations, Turkey appears eager to engage in partnerships based on mutual benefit rather than control. This fresh approach aligns with the desires of many African leaders who are seeking to build robust, self-sustaining economies without relying on the West. Turkey's willingness to invest in infrastructure and development projects stands in stark contrast to the historical patterns of Western involvement, which often prioritize resource extraction over meaningful support. For instance, Turkey has engaged in numerous construction projects across Africa, contributing to roads, hospitals, and school buildings. This development focus fosters genuine economic growth, as it not only creates jobs, but also enhances the quality of life for the local populace. The impact of these partnerships goes beyond mere economic metrics. They reshape the narrative of foreign engagement in Africa. By prioritizing local needs and fostering collaborative efforts, Turkey is redefining what it means to be a partner on the continent. Niger's leaders are not merely seeking to replace one form of dependency with another. They aim to cultivate a partnership that empowers them. This desire for agency is crucial in understanding why Niger is charting a new course away from traditional alliances. Furthermore, the historical context of colonization in the region also influences this shift. For decades, African nations have been subjected to the whims of foreign powers that often exploit their resources without providing substantial benefits to the local communities. This legacy of exploitation has fostered deep-seated resentment towards Western nations. As a result, the military leadership in Niger has made a conscious decision to pivot towards alliances that promise respect for sovereignty and tangible support. In addition, the narratives surrounding national identity and pride play a significant role. The rise of nationalist sentiments across Africa has prompted many leaders to seek a path that emphasizes dignity and self-determination. General Tiani and his government are tapping into this sentiment, positioning themselves as champions of a new era, where African nations chart their destinies without undue influence from foreign powers. One thing is clear, that the implications of this shift extend far beyond Niger's borders. How are neighboring countries reacting to Niger's new direction? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now.
Influence spans across continents. So what are his ambitions in Africa? 2005 marked a turning point in Turkey-Africa relations when it received an observer status with the African Union, declaring it the Year of Africa.
As Niger pivots away from the West, Mali and Burkina Faso are closely watching these developments. Both nations, having undergone similar military transitions, have also sought to redefine their relationships with Western powers. Mali, for instance, has already taken significant steps to distance itself from France, once considered its primary ally. The decision to sever diplomatic ties with Ukraine signals a willingness to align itself with Niger's newfound assertiveness. This move is grounded in a shared historical context of colonial exploitation and neo-colonialism, creating a strong foundation for partnership among these countries. With Mali's military leadership echoing Niger's commitment to sovereignty, we see a growing bloc of nations rejecting Western hegemony. The sentiment in Mali is similar to that in Niger. The country has faced its own set of challenges, including a deteriorating security situation exacerbated by international interventions that have often been ineffective. The military government has gained popular support by advocating for a shift in foreign policy that prioritizes national interests over compliance with Western demands. The military's consolidation of power reflects a broader trend where citizens rally behind leaders who promise to protect their interests and assert national sovereignty. Moreover, Burkina Faso mirrors this sentiment, having strengthened its military ties with Turkey as well. With Turkish support, the Burkinabe military is becoming increasingly equipped to combat security threats, particularly from extremist groups. The collaboration with Turkey, a nation that respects Burkina Faso's sovereignty, represents a refreshing change from previous relations that prioritized Western interests over local needs. This partnership also carries economic implications. Turkey's involvement in infrastructure and resource management can significantly bolster the economies of these nations. Unlike the often extractive relationships seen with Western nations, Turkey's approach focuses on mutual benefit. By fostering trade agreements and investing in local industries, Turkey helps these countries develop more robust economies capable of withstanding external shocks. The economic benefits of this partnership are noteworthy. Turkey's engagement extends beyond military cooperation. It includes investment in critical infrastructure projects that can significantly boost local economies. This multidimensional approach resonates with leaders in both Mali and Burkina Faso, who are keen to replicate Niger's success in leveraging foreign partnerships for national growth. For example, Turkish firms have undertaken major construction projects, such as roads, bridges, and public buildings, creating jobs and stimulating local economies. In addition, Turkey has also been involved in agricultural projects aimed at improving food security in the region. By focusing on sectors that directly impact people's lives, Turkey is building goodwill and solidifying its position as a preferred partner in the Sahel.
Here's the gist of his message.
We're not among those who see diamonds, gold, mines, and underground riches. When we look at Africa, we see our mutual history and only our friends and siblings.
They made Africa central to their agenda, and their messaging has been consistently that they will put Africans first.
They have managed to increase the diplomatic missions in Africa to 44 in the last 20 years, which is a huge increase and puts it in the top 5 countries to have the most embassies and consulates in the continent.
While the shift towards partnerships with non-Western nations like Turkey offers promising benefits, it also raises pertinent questions about potential challenges. What hurdles could these countries face as they navigate their new relationships? Turkey, while offering military and economic support, may also seek to expand its influence in the region. This could lead to a different kind of dependency, albeit one that feels more palatable than the previous Western relationships. African nations must remain vigilant to ensure that these new alliances do not devolve into the same exploitative dynamics they have sought to escape. Moreover, the response from Western nations could complicate these evolving relationships. Historically, the West has not taken kindly to nations that stray from their influence, often resorting to economic sanctions or diplomatic isolation. Countries like Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso must prepare for potential backlash from their former allies, who may attempt to undermine these emerging partnerships. The question of security cannot be overlooked either. While Turkey provides advanced military equipment, the effectiveness of this support hinges on the country's ability to integrate new technologies and strategies into their existing frameworks. Building a cohesive military strategy that incorporates this new support will be critical in combating the persistent threats posed by extremist groups. Additionally, there's the risk of internal divisions within these nations as they navigate their newfound autonomy. Different factions within each country may have varying opinions on foreign partnerships, and managing these internal dynamics will be crucial for maintaining stability. For example, the military governments may face opposition from civil society groups that are skeptical of foreign influence, regardless of the source. The potential for regional instability also looms large. As these countries forge new alliances, they could inadvertently exacerbate existing tensions with neighboring states that may not share their views on foreign partnerships. For instance, countries that remain closely aligned with Western powers could perceive this shift as a threat, leading to diplomatic friction or even conflict. The delicate geopolitical balance in the Sahel could be further complicated by external actors attempting to exploit these divisions. Moreover, the issue of governance and accountability cannot be ignored. The introduction of foreign military support necessitates transparent governance structures to ensure that aid and resources are used effectively. If these nations fail to implement mechanisms for accountability, they risk alienating their populations, which could lead to civil unrest and political instability. But so far, things seem to be under control. The focus now shifts to Turkey. What potential does this nation hold for African countries like Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso? In contrast to Western powers, Turkey appears to offer a more equitable partnership model. By prioritizing mutual interests over neo-colonial practices, Turkey has positioned itself as a viable ally for countries eager to build their futures. Turkey's interest in Africa has grown significantly over the past decade, marked by increasing investments in various sectors, including defense, energy, and infrastructure. This approach resonates well with African nations seeking comprehensive support rather than mere transactional relationships. The military cooperation established with countries in the Sahel demonstrates a willingness to collaborate on pressing security challenges while promoting national sovereignty. A pivotal aspect of Turkey's involvement is its focus on technology transfer. By equipping African nations with advanced military capabilities and fostering local production of military hardware, Turkey empowers these countries to build self-reliant defense systems. This shift from dependency to self-sufficiency is crucial for national security and sovereignty. For example, Turkey has been involved in training local military personnel, providing them with skills that can help them maintain and operate new technologies. Additionally, Turkey's strategic location at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa positions it uniquely to facilitate trade routes and logistical support for African nations. By enhancing connectivity and infrastructure, Turkey can help these countries integrate into the global economy more effectively. This could lead to increased trade, investment, and economic growth, further solidifying Turkey's role as a key partner in the region. Furthermore, Turkey's commitment to humanitarian aid and development projects strengthens its appeal in the Sahel region. The establishment of Turkish schools, hospitals, and infrastructure projects not only bolsters local economies, but also fosters goodwill among the population. This multifaceted engagement goes beyond military cooperation, positioning Turkey as a holistic partner invested in the region's stability and prosperity. Turkey's engagement in Africa also includes a strong emphasis on education and cultural exchange. Turkish educational institutions and scholarships are becoming increasingly popular, providing opportunities for African students to study in Turkey. This cultural diplomacy enhances mutual understanding and fosters a generation of leaders who are more attuned to the values and aspirations of both regions. Moreover, Turkey's track record of successful partnerships in Africa indicates a commitment to long-term engagement. By fostering economic development through infrastructure projects and trade agreements, Turkey has shown that it is serious about helping African nations thrive independently. This contrasts sharply with the Western model, which often focuses on extracting resources without genuine concern for sustainable development. The response from local populations to Turkish involvement has generally been positive, with many seeing it as a welcome alternative to Western-led initiatives. The emphasis on cultural exchange, education, and shared values also resonates with African nations seeking partners who understand their unique challenges and aspirations. Niger's decision to partner with Turkey could serve as a blueprint for other African nations grappling with similar issues of sovereignty and dependence. As countries in the region strengthen their ties with Turkey, they may also find themselves in a position to influence broader geopolitical dynamics in Africa. The shifts occurring in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso hold profound implications for the future of Africa as a whole. What does this newfound assertiveness and realignment with non-Western powers signify for the continent's trajectory? The message is clear. African nations are increasingly prioritizing their sovereignty and seeking partnerships that reflect their interests. This trend could lead to a domino effect across the continent, encouraging other nations to challenge the status quo and redefine their relationships with Western powers. The successes of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso may inspire neighboring countries to adopt similar strategies, fostering a spirit of independence that has long been stifled by colonial legacies. Countries like Senegal, Ivory Coast, and Ghana may begin to explore alternative partnerships, paving the way for a more diversified and balanced foreign policy landscape in Africa. However, this shift does not come without risks. The potential for internal strife and the reactions of Western powers pose real challenges. African nations must develop robust strategies to manage these dynamics, ensuring that their newfound alliances do not come at the expense of internal unity or national interests. Additionally, the involvement of non-Western powers like Turkey may trigger a resurgence of competition among global players, leading to an escalation of geopolitical tensions that could affect regional stability. In this context, the establishment of regional organizations focused on security cooperation, economic integration, and political collaboration will be essential. The African Union (AU) and regional bodies like ECOWAS must adapt to these changes, fostering unity among African nations while enhancing their bargaining power on the global stage. The potential for collaboration among African nations is immense. As they forge new alliances, countries can learn from one another's successes and challenges. The development of a united front can enhance their collective bargaining power when negotiating with global powers, ensuring that their interests are prioritized. Ultimately, these developments signify a potential renaissance for African autonomy, breaking free from the chains of dependency and moving toward a future where African nations dictate their paths. This journey, while fraught with challenges, could reshape the narrative of Africa's role in global politics for generations to come. The increasing assertiveness of African nations, exemplified by Niger's bold moves, represents a shift toward a more equitable global order, where voices from the global south are heard and respected. To sum it up, the military coup in Niger and the subsequent shifts in alliances signal a new era of African sovereignty. By breaking away from Western influence and embracing partnerships with non-Western nations, these countries are redefining their identities and asserting their rights to self-determination. The implications of these changes extend far beyond Niger's borders, offering a glimpse into a future where African nations prioritize their interests and challenge historical power dynamics. But as we reflect on these developments, we must ask ourselves, will this new alliance with Turkey truly empower Africa, or will it create fresh dependencies? How do you think? Will the West respond to this challenge to its dominance, and what strategies might they employ to regain control? Are we prepared to witness an Africa that boldly asserts its sovereignty, or will we revert to the patterns of the past? Let us know in the comments section. Can Africa unite to create a future where its voice is heard loud and clear on the global stage? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.